lived in an old house with her stepmother and her two ugly stepsisters. Oh, they were horrid to her because she was so beautiful and they were ugly. Cinderella only had the mice and the dog for her friends. Cinderella worked hard in the house. She wore old clothes and did all the cleaning, polishing, cooking and mending.
Cinderella, do this, do that, do the other.
Her stepsisters, who were very ugly, dressed in fine clothes and went out to parties. One day, an invitation came from the palace. The king and queen were giving a ball for their son, the prince. Are you listening to what the invitation said? They were giving a ball for their son, the prince. All the young ladies in the land were invited to attend, and they were so excited. And the stepmother and the two ugly sisters said,
"The king will choose his bride at the ball. How wonderful!"
said Cinderella, her eyes sparkling.
You can't go. Why not? I'm fine to be at this ball.
Anyway, you have precious sisters. I have no clothes to wear.
The day of the ball arrived, and the ugly sisters found lots of jobs for Cinderella to do.
Cinderella, fix my scissors and wash my socks. Cinderella, brush my hair and fix my bows.
Helped her to bring him to the fairy godmother. With a wave of her wand and a flash of light, the fairy godmother turned the pumpkin into a beautiful coach. Cinderella couldn't believe her eyes. She waved her wand again, and the fairy godmother turned the mice into a beautiful horse. And Bruno became the handsome footman. Now there. She waved her magic wand once, she waved her magic wand twice. Suddenly Cinderella's old clothes disappeared, and she was dressed in the most beautiful ball gown that had ever been seen. Hear the music from the palace. Heard the clock as it began to strike midnight. Without a word, Cinderella ran from the tower and down the palace steps. She ran so fast she lost one of her doll slippers. She'd no time to pick it up. The magic coach was waiting for her at the bottom. She jumped in, and but next morning, everybody was so very excited. The kingdom was filled with the news that the prince only wanted to marry the girl whose foot could fit into the slippers.
I will not come back if I have found a girl with a slipper fit, and I shall marry her.
You were at the ball.
But the prince insisted that Cinderella try it on.
Everybody must try on the slipper.
So Cinderella slipped her foot into the slipper. Oh, everybody was astonished.
Oh, my dear sister.
And the ugly stepsister started to be nice to her. Waved her magic wand, and the little princess was dressed as a bride. And with herself and her prince and everybody she knew, they lived happily ever after. Bigger boys, you know, that are making the noise. Once upon a time, there was a man who had a wife and 3 sons. They all lived in a cottage on the edge of the forest. The youngest son was called Simpleton, and everyone laughed at him because he was not as clever as his brothers. One day, the oldest son had to go into the forest to cut firewood. It would take a long time, so his mother gave him a cake and a bottle of wine for his midday meal. When he came to the forest, the oldest son met a little purple man.
I'm so hungry. Please give me some food. If I give you my bread and wine, I shall have nothing left.
Go away, he said. He was very rude. He began to chop at a big tree with his axe. Soon the axe slipped and cut his arm, and he had to go home to have it bandaged. I've been watching those people at the back of the hall, the older boys and the older girls, and they're pushing and shoving, the little ones. So take all the crisps back for the moment. And when they're going home, they can all have their bag of crisps. Please move back and sit down now. Now give yourselves room.
And you turn around, and that's what it's all about. Oh, hokey pokey pokey. Oh, hokey pokey pokey. Oh, hokey pokey. And that's what it's all about. Your right arm in and your right arm out. You put your right arm in and you shake it all about. You do the hokey pokey and you turn around, and that's what it's all about. Oh, hokey pokey pokey. Oh, hokey pokey pokey. Oh, hokey pokey pokey. And that's what it's all about.
Now your head. You put your one head in and your one head out.
Put your one head in and you shake it all about. You do the hokey pokey and you turn around, and that's what it's all about. Oh, hokey pokey pokey. Oh, hokey pokey pokey. Oh, hokey pokey pokey. And that's what it's all about.
Now, boys and girls, do you see that notice? What does it say? Sam's Spud. You know the Sam's Spud? Now, will you close the door? Yeah. That's all and love, don't clean hands. Right now, we're ready? No.
Sit down.
The youngsters by pushing, shoving, or making smart remarks. Because I can hear everything down here. And while I can't hear, I can see very clearly. And every morning she stood in front of her mirror and said,
Mirror, mirror on the wall, who's the fairest of them all?
what did she say? And the mirror, if any time Snow White, and she pushed her out of the way and turned to her. Yes. And one day she stood in front of her mirror and she said,
Mirror, mirror on the wall, who's the fairest of them all?
and she was sure that she'd have a really good answer.
Into the woods and never return. Oh, thank you, Woodsman.
And off the woodsman went to kill a deer and take its heart out to bring back to the queen. And Snow White wandered all through the forest. She was so alone, so tired, it was so dark, and she was so hungry. At last she saw a little house in the forest.